Alright, once again we're playing the 46 card Infernoid deck, pure Infernoid deck, in a ranked match on Devpro. Just waiting for someone else to do a TCG match. Tomorrow is a championship in my locals, and I'm going to participate using this deck. And the more practice you get, the better. So far, it looks like we're having trouble finding a game. But if we look at unranked, there's a tremendous amount of unranked. Alright, here we go. And we get to go second, which is what we want. Assuming our opponent doesn't open up with Dark Law, we should be alright. Sky Iris. Alright, so this is exactly what we want to play. Not that it's the best matchup, but it's most likely what I'll be seeing a lot of tomorrow. That card is incredibly unfair. Searching for any two Magician cards. Gives you a scale of 8, 1 to 8, 2 to 8 if you use Oath Dragon. Alright, so he's put out a tremendous amount of cards. He still gets to search an additional card. And he should be able to activate the effect of Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon because it's not a Magician card. Now he's only got one card in his scale. He's got another Wisdom Eye. And I believe he has an Odd-Eyes card. Alright, so what are our options? We're going to normal summon Decatron. Turn it into... He does have a card in the graveyard that might be important. Into Satesmas. I'm going to summon Satesmas. Using Pyrameus and Tondel. Tribute off Decatron, just to get it off the field. And I'm going to attack Oath Dragon Magician. That'll allow us to banish his scale. And he's only got a few of these, so if they're all gone, they're all gone. He's not even holding one now. I don't even think he's holding two. He's only holding one Magician card, so I don't think he can search for the second. If he can't search for the second, I'm in a lot less trouble. Alright, so he's going to get himself Odd-Eyes Fusion, which only works if I control two monsters more than he does, since I only have one. Oh, he's actually going to fuse with monsters he already has in his hand. Alright, well, his Odd-Eyes monster is actually going to be weaker than ours. What's his effect? When he's summoned, return the monster to the hand. Well, I'm better off putting it in the graveyard rather than it being in my hand. Well, that at least cost him a card from his extra deck. Once per turn, I believe he can negate a card effect, so... Ooh. Well, we'll use Void Expansion, which is one of those cards you just don't really want to negate. I will summon Deviati. Which he pretty much has no choice but to negate. Just because he won't have a way to get around it otherwise. And if he doesn't negate me, I'm just going to destroy him. Now I'm going to negate him negating me. And he'll be banished and his Sky Iris will be gone. Alright, so I don't have too many cards, but I still have advantage here. Alright, so I'm going to bring back Decatron, Seitzmoss, and the Tondel with Burial. And I'd like to get 2 guys on the field. So let's use Decatron to get Decatron into Piatti for a future play. Tribute to get him off the field. Keep getting rid of all these magicians. Let's go into Seitzmoss. Now, we only have a few guys left in the graveyard, but we're being asked if we want to summon, despite that we don't really have enough, because we can actually use Void Expansion to tribute, well, to banish the Seitzmoss on the field. Alright, so odds are whatever that is isn't going to be that great. Alright, as long as we have the field spell, he can't destroy that token while Seitzmoss is on the field. Actually, we should win the game right now. Alright, banish everything here for Anoku. Anoku will protect Seitzmoss. Bottomless. Well, I'm obviously not going to let him just bottomless Anoku. Normally I would have saved the Seitzmoss, because that way I could still summon Anoku back in the future, but he's got so little life left, I might need to stop a spell card. Should he draw one? Well, that's not going to really make a difference. I can banish it just because I can. And now I summon Seitzmoss and I'll win. Unless he has a damage juggler, which doesn't look like he's running clowns. Alright, game 2. What do we got? Dark Hole and Raigeki are going to be less useful than Torrential. Pull 1 Void Seer and 1 Breakthrough Skill for Bottomless, Needle Sealing. Pull 1 of Launch and Purification for 2 Trap Stuns, 3 Trap Stuns. Okay, we should be pretty safe with this build. Alright, I wonder what he's going to play. For me, it's usually just a bunch of Iron Walls, and the Trap Stun will get by that. Looks like he's running out of time. Alright, he decided to go first, which is usually a bad move against an Infernoid player, because all my cards are reactive. So, Gold Sarcophagus. That's an interesting card. This seems like one of those... What? Alright, so this is probably not a great player. I mean, Raigeki's good, but to be worth playing Sarcophagus for? I wouldn't think so. Alright, so he has no monsters on board. That I'm going to want to stop. What can we do? Well, we'll use Petrulia into... Permace into Petrulia. Get rid of Sky Iris. Alright. Decatron. into a Nuku and negate whatever spell card he plays next, and go for 500 damage. And we'll set launch to get things rolling for next turn. Most likely he's going to play it's actually pretty easy to stop. Actually, I'm going to have to negate it. Because he does have a hand, so he could actually... this isn't good. It was let him summon a monster I couldn't deal with and do it anyway, or... I don't know. I guess that was the right decision. There's really no right answer. Does he have a guy in the graveyard? No. There's nothing really to banish, and he was going to do more damage otherwise. We don't have enough damage to game him. That was one of the better draws we could have had. Best thing to do is to go into double Satesmas. Just start banishing every card possible. It's good to leave the Infernoids that are in our hand so our opponent doesn't know what we have exactly. Alright, so we're going to banish his scales, so we're going to crush the two weaker ones. Oh. That way he can't see with the Wisdom Eye if we leave it there. Alright. I'm going to banish. We could leave Oath Dragon. I can't leave Oath Dragon. Oath Dragon's got to go. Odd-Eyes is definitely the least concern right now. We'll set Burial, since it actually has something to target now. Oh shoot, forgot about Raigeki. Put 500 damage on board, he's won this game. Can't think of a reason to not do this, but yeah, it's definitely a misplay. Can you put up 500 damage? I'll take that as a maybe. If he had a way of summoning, which it doesn't look like it, he would have won, but now he can only negate one card effect. I'd like to give him the opportunity to negate Burial. Truth is, it doesn't matter which card he negates, because I'm going to get an advantage here. This is what I wanted, actually. I wanted to summon a Tondel so I could attack him twice. I only set Sajet as something to banish. Now he's going to have a lot of trouble playing with one card next turn. I suppose if he draws one Pendulum Monster and then Wavering Eyes next turn, I could be in some trouble. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I think we're down to 2 Decatrons, so let's see. 2 Decatrons. So I'm going to send one to try and make this mill really crazy. And one Anoku, in case I need to negate that spell card. Oh, he left. I guess he had nothing. Good game.